It's a target from the evil countries like Iran, like Russia, like China. The propaganda that they make is very efficient. They convince the young people that are emocionalmente fragile, weak, emotionally weak. That's a problem. The young people believe in things that are not real. You see in the media a lot of garbage. They cannot distinguish. That's why the parents are important to guide their children.
Alex Alabois here for Rebel News, and I'm currently in Mexico City. And why I came all the way down? Because this weekend, the CPAC 2024, the Mexican version, took place in Polanco, Mexico. A lot of speakers around the Hispanic world came to speak, but also some people from the US and Europe to talk about the societal issues. I engaged with some of the speakers, and one of them was Maria Fernanda Cabal. She currently serves as senator in the Republic of Colombia. And we talk about Nabil Bukele and Javier Milei policies. We also talk about the last election in Venezuela, and also what is going on with the current situation in Colombia. So you don't want to miss that. But before the full interview, I invite you to rebelcpac.com. Please chip in to encourage my independent journalism. And now let's hear the full interview.
In Colombia, we have a twisted economy thanks to Gustavo Petro. For example, 40% of our exports are oil, petroleum. What he has done is to close all the oil investments, saying that he's going to save the world because of climate change. He's weird as many of these fanatics. So what he has done is to push all the investors out of Colombia. If you don't have foreign investment, you don't have creation of new jobs, first of all. Second, he has spread the idea that he's going to make peace with every criminal in Colombia. The result is that we currently have 800 groups spreading and selling cocaine in every single municipality. We have 800 groups, and we have 400 municipalities that are now under the control partially or totally by a criminal group. You have a lot of people killed every day because we have 300,000 hectares of coke crops that are not prosecuted. So this is weird, this is evil, and we could lose our freedom and we could lose our country.
I want to talk also about what happened in Venezuela, the election result, and your thoughts on the situation in Venezuela.
Venezuela is not a state of a rule of law, it's not a state of law anymore. I always repeat the statement that it's like a pirate cave. Pirates. It's a government ruled by transnational criminality. You find Hezbollah, you find Hamas, you find FARC, you find ELN, all the interests from Iran, from Russia, from China, all together doing their business. Their business is not just trafficking drugs, but is illegal trafficking of weapons. It's illegal migration. It's everything which is reported as criminal where they handle. They have currently 8 million Venezuelan people outside. Just 3 million of them are in Colombia. So what you see is that Venezuela is a criminal, transnational form of government that stole the elections. They thought they could manage the results. They couldn't, thanks God. That's why they have not released. And they use institutions that have been co-opted by the regime.
You mentioned the illegal immigration, and also you face, and this is part of the story of Latin America and Central America, to have like the cartel, the drug trafficking, human trafficking, a little bit of everything. But we saw an influx growing at the southern border with America that will also impact Canada. Do you have a message to pass to American or Canadian who are facing mass migration of people who are coming in? Some are criminal, some are doing drug trafficking. There is also like non-accompanied children passing the border.
Why, if they are suffering because of illegal migration and they are losing the freedom that they had before because of security in their streets, in their neighbors, why they keep voting for progressists? Why they don't change their minds? It's not with evil ideas that sell you that they're gonna promise you the paradise when the reality is that they're gonna turn your country upside down and you will live in hell. You have to vote for people who defend borders. A border is like the door of your house. You don't leave your house open. That's basically what I should say to the citizens of the US and of Canada.
We saw what Nabil Bukele did in El Salvador. What do you think of like the policy of Nabil Bukele, but also Javier Milei, who actually put back Argentina on the economic track?
They are different countries. I think, sadly, the only way to reinstate at least a hope for living in Salvador was to be like Bukele. The problem is that he has to be like a dictatorship, maybe for 15 more years. But the people loves him. So he can do what he's doing because there's no really a separation of powers in El Salvador. However, if you ask the people in and outside Salvador, they are happy. And if they're happy, you have the government that you want and they're happy. They are not a government that promise you what they're not going to accomplish. The difference with Javier Milei is that he has an extremely rich country that has been in poverty because of thieves politicians. He, as an expert in economy, apply the formula of libertarian. Free market, let the people make their inventions, shorten the state, how do you say, el tamaño, shortened the size of the institution, cut taxes, individuals are able to produce their own income, and you have the results. I think in 3 years, Argentina will be as rich as it was before. And we hope that El Salvador do that too. What I'm afraid of El Salvador is that I'm not sure if they have separation of powers. Maybe in some years they will get back. But today, people are happy with him.
My last question is, we see the consequences of socialism and leftist government who create poverty, shortages, and way more. How come the Western country are now, most of the young people are now advocating for communism and socialism? How come this phenomenon is growing on the Western country?
The Western country is a target. It's a target from the evil countries like Iran, like Russia, like China. The propaganda that they make is very efficient. They convince the young people that are emocionalmente fragile, weak, emotionally weak. That's a problem. The young people believe in things that are not real. You see in the media a lot of garbage. They cannot distinguish. That's why the parents are important to guide their children. And finally, a phenomenon described by the former Brazilian philosopher Olavo de Carvalho. Collective imbecility. Collective imbecility is one of the favorite weapons from evil to destroy freedom in the Western civilization.
How the conservative or the right-wing politician can actually try to make their way in politics if mainstream media are continuing to diabolize the movement?
They demonize. We have to build our own media. Today the platforms are allowed and it's not as expensive as before. We have to do our own media. We have to multiplicate. We have to expand it. We have to amplify the truth. We have to do that to control the evil from the left that have captured not just the big media, big tech, big corporations, and at the end, it happened in Argentina. I think we will win.
I've been sent here in Mexico City to cover the CPAC, the Conservative Political Action Conference. I came here because it was important for us to give the voice to those conservative leaders here in the Latin world. But of course, there were other speakers. But it's not cheap to travel all the way here, and I need your help because all of you, we can do all this. Thanks in advance to go over rebelcpac.com to chip in what you can and to watch my report, my hard work on the ground. So I repeat, rebelcpac.com, and thank you for donating, same if it's just $1.